Hey YouTube, it's Evan Moran coming at you with a Madolche deck profile. I just finished building this deck. I've been gone for a while. I haven't posted a video in a while because I've been sick and because of finals. It's really been getting in the way, but I'm going to try and get more weekly deck profiles for you. So here's my Madolche deck. We got 3 Magdalenes. It's standard in Madolches. You gotta run 3 of them. It's way too good. Searches for any Madolche. Then we got 3 Madolche Cruffsant. He's really good because he can bounce back your Madolche cards, so you can use them again, bounce back your Madolene, and also he becomes a level 4 when you do that, and he gains 300 attack. So you can bounce back Madolche cards as well, so you can bounce back Chateau and then activate it again, so he just becomes a 2300 beater, which is pretty nice. Then we got 3 Mewfeuilles. It's like the marauding captain of Madolches. You normal summon it, and then you special summon a Madolche. Most likely you're going to be special summoning this guy, Messengelato. When you special summon while you control a beast-type Madolche, then you can add a Madolche spell trap for your deck to your hand. You're most likely going to be adding Chateau, because Chateau is what you really need to get into. But if you already have it, then you're probably going to go for Ticket, or you could go for Palooza if you really wanted to. And then you got 1 Butler-esque. I run this because of the Madolche OTK, and it requires Butler-esque to do it. And then we have 1 Marble Maid because she saved me a couple times when I use her, and she also is just a wall. She's got 2000 defense, but 2500 under Chateau, so that's really good. And then 1 Pudding Cess. You only need 1. I've seen people try to run 2 or 3 when it really doesn't work. And a lot of people try to base the deck around Pudding Cess too, like trying to keep the graveyard empty and stuff, when really that's not what you're supposed to do. The boss monster is not Pudding Cess, it's Tiaramisu. So, and you want cards in the graveyard for that one, so it really doesn't matter if your graveyard has monsters, like Pudding Cess will still be good. And then for my 1 non-Madolche, I have Birdman. One thing to note is that if you return a monster with his effect, well, then it will not activate Ticket because the returning to the hand is a cost in order for him to summon, and Ticket needs to be in effect. But he's still pretty good. So that's the monsters. And for the spells, we got 3 Chateau. It's really good. When you activate, it shuffles all Madolche cards in your graveyard into the deck. Madolche monsters, so that includes Tiaramisu, and yeah, it activates Ticket, and it boosts them all by 500 attack and defense, and when they die, they go back to your hand. So just a ton of pluses when combined with Ticket as well. You only need to run 2 Ticket. You don't need 3, really, to be honest. It's not as important as Chateau, but it's still really good. And another thing to just let you guys know is if you have 2 of these on the field, then they don't stack. Like, so if you have 2 Tickets on the field and a Madolche gets shuffled into the deck, you don't get 2 searches. You only get 1. Just letting you guys know. Some of you probably already knew that. And then we got 2 Duality. Deck doesn't special summon too much. It increases consistency. Get your Madolche spell traps. Keep it moving. And then 2 MST. I used to be running 3, but then I took it out for Soul Taker. I knew this card was really good, but I didn't know until like last week how good it really was. Like, it forces Leviair to detach, it can pop off a Dolka, it makes Shining mistiming, it makes Light Pulsar mistiming, it forces Shien to negate, it can just take it down any big monster. It's really, really, really good. And the Rabbit matchup's really bad for me, so I like to be able to pop off Leviair's materials. And then I got Reborn and Dark Hole. I don't run Heavy because I'm always going to have Speller Trap set. I always am. So Heavy's almost useless. So that's the spells. And then for the traps, we got a ton. I believe it's 13. We got the Solemn Brigade. Pretty much staple. And then 2 Fiendish Chain. Used to run Compulse. Didn't like it. Switched out for this because because Compulsor returns to the hand, and sometimes I don't like returning it to the hand. I like to stop them in the tracks, because there's a lot of things that Fiendish Chain can do that Compulse can't. And I got 2 Deprison. It's way too good not to run this format, really. Any format, actually. And then 2 Mirror Force. I just like to keep I like to keep field presence, which is why I run all of these traps and stuff, and why I also have 2 Starlight Roads. I need to protect my chateau and my ticket, so that's why I run 2, because if they heavy me, I lose. So I really need to protect them. I really need to draw into it. And then you got 1 Madolche Palooza. You special summon any number of Madolches from your hand, but then you normally just XYZ with him. And if you don't XYZ with him, you probably have Chateau on the field, and it just comes right back to your hand. And then you got 1 Ultimate Offering. This deck is the reason it went to 1, because you can make an OTK with it, which I will post in a later video. I do not have a side deck, but I still have my extra deck with 2 cards missing, but I do have the 2 Tiaramisus. Like I said, this is the trump card of the deck. It's 2,700 under Chateau, which is insane, and it can shuffle. If you have Chateau in the field, it's basically like a +4. It's ridiculous. It's so good. It's also involved in the Madolche OTK. And then you got Fairy King Alverditch. He's pretty good for running over big monsters, but he's kind of useless now that Gaga Cowboy was released, because he can do the same thing. But Fairy King has the ability to, he's used for the OTK as well. So Gaga Cowboy, so he's still runnable even when you have Gaga Cowboy. And then number 39, Utopia. I really only exceed into this if I'm like reborning their monster or something and then exceeding with it, because otherwise if I'm making a rank 4, I'm probably going to be going for Tiaramisu. Like, there's no question about it. And then Shockmaster, he's just a really good card. Like, this deck can exceed really well, and also it's used for the OTK. And then I have 3 rank 3s. I have Zenmains, Temtempo. Temtempo is really good because it gets rid of Gachi, which really doesn't hurt, puts a hurt on this deck, as well as Zenmains, so puts them and stops them. And then 1 Leviathan Dragon. This card is really good because it gives you graveyard presence for Tiaramisu, and then you can, like, one play I've done with Palooza is summon 2 level 3s and then 2 level 4s, exceeded the 2 level 3s into Leviathan, 2 level 4s into Tiaramisu, detach for Leviathan so I could get graveyard presence, detach Tiaramisu, shuffle 2 cards they control. So that's really good. And then I have 4 Synchro monsters. I have Genix Ally Triforce. Because I run a Genix tuner, I can summon him. And because I only run Earths, his only effect will be if he attacks, can't activate spells or traps till the end of the damage step, which is pretty nice. Means he can't be Mirror Force, Deprisoned, Magical Cylinder, or whatever. You can't do anything to it. And then you got Ancient Fairy Dragon. She, I guess, is really good because you run a field spell, and when you're in that war of field spells against, like, against Gravekeepers or something, then this card really is really good because it pops their Necro Valley and it lets you add a Chateau, and it just lets you keep your own field spell alive. And he's got 3,000 defense as well, so it can just stall while you get your resources and stuff. And the special summoning effect can get you to a quick Tiaramisu, which can save you, and it has. And then I got 2 Stardust Dragons because I run 2 Starlight Roads. And you may be thinking I have 2 extra deck spots that are empty, and I do actually. The 2 spots left are for Maestroke and Leviair, both of which aren't at my local shop that sells singles. I'm trying to find them right now. But yeah, that's the deck. If you guys liked it, rate, comment, subscribe, and get more deck profile videos. Signing out.